Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I just want to take this moment to welcome everyone to this groundbreaking ceremony. My name is Jesse Willingham. I'm a rising senior at the University of Evansville. I'm also the Student Government Association Vice President and the President of our University of Evansville Habitat for Humanity chapter there. So that's sort of my involvement with this. I'm representing both that chapter and the student body as a whole. Just a quick introduction to, I guess, my background with Habitat for Humanity. I come from a family where my dad was a contractor and we believed in giving back when we could. And so I actually got involved with a really young age helping my dad out with some habitat builds. And so whenever I came to the University of Evansville as a freshman and went to the organization fair and saw a booth for Habitat for Humanity, it was pretty easy for me to decide that's what I wanted to get involved with pretty early on. And so we had sort of a rocky couple of years at the beginning. We were in and out of our involvement. But then I just sort of fell into a leadership role in Habitat my junior year. And in rebuilding the institution, I was really excited whenever our head of student engagement, Jeff Edwards, came to me and said, we want to start a new social responsibility program. We want to be involved with Habitat with this. And so we started working with Student Government Association, trying to get some funds to start a partnership with Habitat for Humanity. And then we actually came in contact with a family that also wanted to donate to Habitat for Humanity and start a home. That was Ron and Kathy Hollander, and Ron was actually a University of Evansville graduate, so it all just sort of came together perfectly that we would partner up and do this house together for Habitat for Humanity. So that's a little bit about how this whole project came together. And so now to formally begin today's ceremonies, I'd like to invite the UE chaplain, Reverend Tammy Gisselman, to come forward for our invocation.
I'd like to invite all of you to pray with me. Creator God, wisdom reminds us that there is a time for everything, and today we affirm this as a time to build up. Thank you for generous hearts, for people who have provided financial resources that have enabled the breaking of this ground. Cause us to always use our resources wisely and with responsibility. Guard and direct those who labor in the building of this home. May the walls of this place rise in security and safety. And may the peace that is here today be ever present on this property. And may the outpouring of love and service abide within the walls of the completed home. Thanks be to God. Amen.
Amen.
This time it's my pleasure to invite University President Thomas Kazee to the microphone.
Thank you, Tammy. As I walked in this morning, I had this kind of rush of recognition of what a habitat site is like. I had the great privilege quite a number of years ago now at another institution to work with a group of faculty members who regularly volunteered at habitat sites, and that rush of recognition was a little bittersweet in this sense. I've told the story to a couple of others this morning. Our group, with great intentions of doing good, would come onto this site and they'd say, okay, you frame that wall over there, or whatever sort of task was needed, and we'd do that. And I noticed there was always a team that would follow behind us and fix all of the mistakes that we made. Those of you who worked on Habitat know what I'm talking about. And it all seemed to work out in the end, so it was great. It is a privilege to represent the University of Evansville here this morning, and thank you for coming. We really are thrilled to be involved in this project. We have a strategic plan at the university. It's called Transforming Tomorrow. Our students, our university, our world. And we notice that title. It's not just transformation in the sort of traditional sense of students coming to a university and getting a great education, but it's helping them to see that they have a role, they have a part in transforming their communities. And I can't imagine a better example of that than Habitat for Humanity. We want to model and we want to teach social responsibility. It's integral to our mission as a university. And this is a very concrete example of how students can make an impact through this partnership with Habitat for Humanity and learn about the important topic of affordable housing. Much of it begins with where one lives, literally. And so this is a great example of how our students and others in the university community can come together to support that goal. In addition to committing $25,000 to the project and volunteering throughout the building process, our students are able to demonstrate their commitment to social responsibility in so many different ways. As a matter of fact, beginning with this year's freshman class, I just left a session. Our orientation is happening now on campus, and this morning at 8:30, I walked into iCamp Hall. Those of you on campus know iCamp Hall. It's one of our larger spaces on campus, and it had to be large because all of our freshmen, roughly about 550, and their orientation leaders, so we probably had 600 people in the room, were in iCamp, all wearing purple, all sitting on the floor, getting ready to go out to do service projects around the community, fanning out to about 20 different sites around the community. That's really remarkable. We're saying to them in this first week of their engagement with the University of Evansville that service matters. Service is valued. Service is something that they will find part of their own transformation as their communities are transformed as well. We also have changed our curriculum so that now students must take a 3-credit-hour course with the theme of social responsibility. So we know that it's important for us to say, here are some opportunities, but we've taken it a step further. We've said we will put as part of the graduation requirement a chance for you to see what social responsibility means. So we think that's very important. As I said, we do this before classes even begin. This project is also special in that it demonstrates the powerful lifelong connections that our alumni build with the University of Evansville. We're thrilled, really thrilled to work on this build with Ron Hollander and his wife, Kathy. Ron, I think is oh, thank you. Hi, Kathy. I hadn't met you yet. And this is, I understand, in celebration of your 50th winning anniversary. Wow. Congratulations. I met Ron for the first time this morning, and as you will, if you haven't yet met him, quickly discover his passion for this, his energy is just contagious. So thank you so much for what you're doing here. And now it's my privilege to turn the podium over to Lori Reed, who's the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity of Evansville.
Thank you. All right, so I'm switching stories. I'm a storyteller, and I just told a story over to the side to the Hollander family, and I want to share it with you guys today. When I walked up, I saw Jim Studwell and Carl Schofield. They're members of our core crew, and these are gentlemen that come out regularly and provide this skilled labor, volunteer labor. Some of them come out 2 or 3 times a week and work all day with volunteer groups like the University of Evansville students and the Hollander family to help show them how to build a house and to help build a great city. And I asked them both, are you UE alumni? They said, no, but our children are. We've made some investments in the university, and I just chuckled. But one of the challenges that's facing Habitat today is passing on the heritage and the core values of hard work to the next generation. I was in the office here recently, and I was in one of the core crew that works quietly out in the warehouse brought me a contribution. And I was working with someone else, and he just handed it to me and walked off, and I was like, is this a designated contribution? So I went out and asked him, and I explained something to him totally irrelevant to our time here today, but he said, oh, what a great birthday present. Back to what I said, because he got some text, something that was extra special. And I said, it's your birthday today, how old are you? He said, 13 more years and I'll be 100. These are the guys that come out every day, guys and a few gals, and mow our over 100 properties and build 15 to 32 houses a year. And it is partnerships like that with the Hollander family and the University of Evansville that will help us transition leadership of such a fine institution to the next generation. So I thank you for that. The other thing that makes this so exciting to me is the invitation to come and help teach some of the workshops and classes that the students will participate in. And I was a late bloomer. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, when I got to college, but I knew I wanted to live on purpose, and I knew I wanted to help change the world, and God did the rest for me. But I can't wait to get in front of students and share my enthusiasm for building a great city and how Habitat gets to play a small part in that and invite those students out on site. So there's I would be remiss in my duties as the Habitat Director if I didn't share a little bit about Habitat. There's 3 things that make us work: donors, volunteers, and partner families. It takes $80,000 to produce a unit, to buy the land, prepare the land, and buy the sticks and bricks and put it all together. That's the nuts and bolts, and we thank you so much for helping us with that. And it's the volunteer hours. 4,000 volunteer hours have to go into each house to build it. And remember, we're building 15 to about 32 houses a year, depending on the support we receive from the community. And partner families. The number 1 myth about Habitat is that we give houses away. Habitat is absolutely not a charity. I think, and this is my personal view, I'm talking as Lori right now, not for Habitat, but charity can often be to the detriment of the recipient. It can rob somebody of their dignity if they're not part of their own solution. So what makes Habitat unique is that we invite the partner, the person that needs a little help in life, we invite them into the process. And they work hard too. They work 300 hours of sweat equity out on site, and believe me, it's sweat equity, especially on days like today. They go to several workshops themselves to learn about community development, to learn about how to be a good homeowner. So they're making an investment. Not only do they do that, but they buy the house from us. They repay Habitat for the investment the community has made in their home. We don't charge interest on their mortgage, and we don't earn a profit on the sale, but they're repaying the community for how they help them. That's what makes Habitat so special. That's what makes me so passionate about this way to help build a great city. I'm so excited about this build. It makes me get all giddy. When I walk up on site and I see people in purple shirts and I see green Habitat, hard hats, and I see the connections that we didn't even realize existed when we were working with the Hollander family and working with the University of Evansville. When Dr. Kazee walked up and said, you know, you may not know this, but I've spent years volunteering on Habitat sites. And then when we approached the Hollander family about joining them together to make up the 80,000, and Ron shares that he's a UE alumni. That's God at work. So we're unashamedly a Christian organization, and that's where we get our drive and passion too. I spent Saturday with the Hollander family, and so did Sarah Johnson and her family. That's the family that's buying this house. And they had a little gathering of the families and celebrated the 50th wedding anniversary. And I got even more excited today when I walked up and saw the purple shirts and thought we get to bring the Sarah Johnson family together, the Hollander family together, and the University of Evansville family together and help build a great city. So I thank you so much for your partnership in doing that, and I hope it's contagious, like you guys get super excited about Habitat while you're out here building. With that, I want to invite Sarah Johnson up to say a few words. Again, she's the partner family, and emphasis on partner, because she is a true partner.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a little nervous and excited and everything else. But this is really a blessing for me, and I've learned a lot out here with Habitat, and I'm going to continue to learn, and I'm just real excited about being a homeowner. Thank you.
Thank you again for everyone for being out here to help us with the launch of this really exciting project. I want to let you know that all of the speakers today will be available for one-on-one conversations after the ceremony is over. But right now, we'll also entertain any questions for any of our speakers that have spoken so far.
Question for Lori. This is house number what?
Oh, 420 something.
420 something.
Something.
More than 420 homes have been built. Okay.
Yes.
Question. Answer it.
Well, if there are no other questions, I'd like to invite all the speakers and also the Hollander family to come grab a hard hat from your appropriate institution, and then we'll come right over here to break the ground for the house.
The founder of Habitat, Millard Fuller, would always do the Habitat cry. It was, oh yay! So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Everybody's going to help us with the oh yay, and then we'll do in the very hard dirt, we're going to do the ground breaking. So 1, 2, 3. Oh yay!
Come up, I'm there you go.
That's right. We can just lean on each other.